So who are the best home builders in Charlotte, North Carolina? Well, this realtor reacts to some of the opinions that I'm seeing. I want to explain all that to you. I'm going to make three main points today, and I hope you get them. I think it'll help you. And if you stay to the end, I've got a fabulous 50 video, I know that's a lot, playlist / podcast, video podcast about building from the ground up. If you've never built a home, I think you'll find it fascinating. Well, who are the best builders in the greater Charlotte area? By the way, this site, showingnew.com / my name, Roger Holloway, is a nationwide database where you can search new homes all over the country. It's kind of fun. I typed in Huntersville here on the search bar, and it'll take you and show you different builders. Like, for instance, David Weekly Homes building at North Creek Village in Huntersville, Taylor Morrison building at Walden Woodlands in Huntersville, and so on. Could be a good resource, especially for people from out of town, because this covers the entire country. Well, this same company has a site. It's New Home Source out of Austin. And they have this in a lot of major cities. In fact, you can enter a location and do a search there. But what's interesting to me when asking the question, who are the best builders in Charlotte, NC, even a national site like this that specializes in new construction, they've only got 9 or 10. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They've got 9 builders. What's interesting to me is Centex is a Pulte brand. It's their first-time homebuyer brand. Del Webb is their sort of last-time homebuyer brand. Do the math on that. How many people have told me, this is my last house? That's Del Webb. By the way, Del Webb Riverside's going great over in Belmont, west of Charlotte. John Whelan Homes, hey, that's a Pulte brand. That is their luxury brand. They bought out John Whelan out of Atlanta some years back. And then Pulte, that's a Pulte brand, sort of like their medium brand. I just find 4 out of 9 being Pulte brands. It's interesting. I don't think it relates to what dollars they spend on advertising, but when you are wanting to really dive deep into, I'm going to help you today, by the way, solve a pain problem that you're wondering where to go and what to do. That there are several factors to consider as you do your research, because you can come on here. I was surprised at some of these ratings. Some of them were higher than I thought that they would be. Some of them that kind of surprised me because I've been in all these homes. I've been in every brand that's listed here. We've sold in most of them. So what I'll tell you is what you see here is good information, but it ain't necessarily the gospel. So my first thing is consider the source of the information. I'm not sure starting out here is the best place to start, because if somebody's already upset, are they going to give you good advice? Or are they just going to trash every little thing? You know, I tell people that new construction is imperfect materials. I saw one comment, well, those bows, those 2x4 studs were all bowed and too many spaces between them, et cetera, et cetera. Every builder's got to build according to the county code for safety reasons and quality. But is it true that maybe the type of person that does a lot of complaining kind of grew up that way? Maybe they're a negative person to start with. By the way, this is why I don't allow comments on my channel. Except when my dog died, people that love my dog left some great comments. Missing Jack the real estate dog today. But I'm not sure this is the best place to look. You can look, but consider the source. Here's another one that comes up pretty high in the search results. This is Reddit, and then also city-data. So forums are pretty good. Thoughts on these new construction builders? This is relative to Charlotte. So they talk, and here's somebody that says, I've heard Pulte is trash in the Raleigh market. Now I'm going to deal with that. The location really does have something to do with it. I toured a Pulte home under construction, blah, blah, blah. I can't overstate it enough. Stay away from Meritage. Well, I don't know. My first impression of Meritage is it's a good builder. But, with spray foam insulation and all that. But, you've got everybody, like this person says, all these builders hire subcontractors. Have somebody on site as much as possible. So I'm going to deal with that in a little bit too. So when you're reading Reddit and city-data, when you're over here on this site, I know that I can say that word, but because there's an Old Testament scripture that talks about a person that pisses against the wall, meaning a person. So, but you choose your words. Now this site I do like, but there are only 9 builders on it because I like New Home Source. But here's what I'll tell you. Let's kind of go to my second point. And my second point being, think builder, not builder. And what do you mean by that? Well, like on those sites, they're saying, well, I think Pulte's this and Meritage is that. So that's the builder, the brand. Maybe you're thinking brand. Some people have a negative opinion of Lennar. But I had a really good opinion of Lennar for a few years here locally. And I'll just full disclosure, part of it is how they treat the real estate community. Because my thought is, if treating the way you treat us, who bringing you maybe 70% of your business, is going to be a reflection of how you're going to treat the people that we bring you. And, there's this kind of thought about what it's going to take to get you on paper. That means to get a contract. What do we do? How do we treat you when we're trying to get you on paper, under contract? And how are we going to treat you up to getting your keys? So those are important ways to think about it. I can make some strong analogies now about husbands and wives. He was nice before I met him or married him, and then, So here's what I'll tell you. The way you treat the real estate community, to me, could easily be a reflection of how you're going to treat your consumers. Doesn't always hold true, and it's not just because, a money thing for me, because I do trust God as my source. I will tell you, like on that one builder that I mentioned earlier, you're paying me this on a pretty good sale. Then I sell your model for you and get you a lease back on it, and you paid me a lot less. That means something's going on here. You're starting to change the way you treat us, means maybe that's also going to be the way that you treat the consumers. So this is a search site for homes. This one is a review site, as are the others that I've shown you. So there are a lot of ways to gather information. But when I say think builder, not builder, here's a good case in point. My wife and I built a Taylor Morrison house about 3 or 4 years ago. And we thought we were ready to move. I was excited about it. We picked out the neighborhood and the lot and the builder, very happy all the way along. And when we got assigned the person that was going to actually be the builder, now think about it, the builder is Taylor Morrison, but Seth was the builder. And I already knew about Seth because as a real estate agent specializing in new construction, I had seen him on the job treat me and treat the final product end user customer really right. And I have a discerning eye, and I like Seth, and he was the builder. So now it's not just Taylor Morrison, it's Seth. Now, some companies go through a lot of builders. Seth, by the way, got hired because he's so good, got a better offer somewhere, ran into him a few weeks ago downtown Waxhaw, not in the sidewalk district, but over on the other side, and had a great conversation and really enjoyed seeing him out in public. But when they assigned a new builder to our job, it was Steve, and I've had contact with him also, and guess what? He's a good builder. So, and by the way, they weren't just building lot 14. They were building the Holloway's house. So when they attach a name, kind of like the movie Patch Adams, when that Dr. Patch Adams says not just patient bed 303, it's Jonathan. So there makes a difference there. And so think builder. So you can go in and look at all of the reviews on a site like this, and yeah, he was terrible. They were terrible. Well, was that in Las Vegas or was that in Charlotte? Was that in 2017 or was that in 2024? So you've got to take into consideration the source of the info and the time frame, and you've got to consider not just the builder, meaning the national builder, but also the person that built the house and who was building back then. Case in point, I'll give you a good illustration of that. Was Regency at Palisades was building over here. Where are they? They're right down here. They were building Toll Brothers, good brand, right? My wife built a Toll Brothers house, and good house. But Regency at Palisades some years back, they were having troubles, and I happen to know inside information. They went through, I think, 4 different builders. So the builder went through 4 different builders. Why? I don't know all the reasons, but I'll tell you, they corrected the problem and had to recorrect the problem. And could there have been a few people over here on Reddit getting ugly about it at the time? Sure. Or here? Sure. But did they correct the problem? Yeah. So think not just builder, but builder. And this is probably a good point to interject. There is a difference between a production builder and a custom builder. You're going to pay a lot more per square foot for a custom builder, but you're probably going to get what you pay for. Attention to detail, maybe a builder that builds a dozen homes a year is going to be different than a kid that got out of college. They gave him an iPad and they've got 29 homes at a time that he's building. He's not really building, he's scheduling. So a custom builder, and we know a lot of great custom builders here in the greater Charlotte area, and we can help you with them. And we would love to. We just want to know your budget, time frame. Custom builder, you're going to be married to them for a while. Whereas a production builder, it's a machine. It's a machine. They may write 4 contracts today and have 4 closings today from 6 or 8 months ago. It's a machine. Ask Mr. Ford about that. So here's what I'll tell you. Having the bright builder, case in point, one of my partners and I were out at Taylor Morrison neighborhood. And by the way, if you want to see my house, 50 videos, 5-0 at the end of this one, stick around. I've got a 50 video playlist / podcast of them building my Taylor Morrison home. My wife at the end couldn't pull herself away from the other house, so we sold it, but we've since moved into another new construction home. But, you know, in terms of Toll Brothers fixing that problem, Taylor Morrison and other builders can fix the problem too, and they will, and they'll be attentive to it as well. I started down another rabbit hole, but got back to my old rabbit hole. That's what happens when you're old, man. Watch out now, but old is the goal. Well, the builder, not just the builder. That's kind of my case in point. And then my third point really is get some help. Now, what do you mean by that? Well, we make relocating to Charlotte easy. And when I say that, we, out of 5 of us on my team, 3 of us worked in a model home working for the builder. 1 of us actually worked in the front office and understanding the margins and understanding the back end of the profit margins and how all that works, and then was on a sales floor. But all 5 were all really good at it. I'm good at doing the videos, by the way, and answering the phone. Try me. They're all out doing deals, and they're really good, and we make a wonderful team. We've had a few join the team and not be so great, but hey, it's us 5 now with me. So guys, I want you to realize that getting some help, if you're going to build a home, don't do it alone. I know there are a lot of changes coming with the NAR lawsuit and everybody, all the real estate stories. Trust me on this. You need some help. There are many, many, many moving parts in a real estate transaction. And even us, you know, we've got a closings department in our firm. They're very good at helping us through the many details as well. So when I say get some help, you know, when we're talking over on this site about people that are not too happy, and even over on Reddit, and they have all these people, like one of these comments said, have somebody on site all the time. Well, that's not practical. Here you go. My recommendation, having worked for a builder, is have someone on site watching as much as possible. Well, a lot of that gets to be, is it lot 14 or is it Mr. Holloway's home? Because, and this is one of the things that my team really brings to it, guys. And by the way, yeah, this is a bold, a passioned plea for you to call me and hire us as your buyer agent. At the moment, the builders are paying us. There's a lot of stuff changing over the next weeks and months. And we'll talk to you about it in person. But here's what I'll tell you. My guy, Rodney Jones, on my team, he says, you know, I can pull my own teeth. Let that sink in. But I prefer to hire a dentist who is a professional. And so Can you do it alone? A lot of people have the conception that that agent at the builder is their agent. No, that's the builder's agent. That's not your agent. And so understanding that process, that really for the most part, that sales agent gets you on paper, then the builder who works for the builder is the one that you're going to be working with most of the time. Having an intermediary is really helpful. And when I say that, having someone that knows how to talk to the builder, someone that knows what questions to ask the builder, someone that notices things that could be wrong and brings it up in the appropriate manner, not like you would see over here on this here site, because that usually doesn't get you too much traction to have that sort of demeanor. So what I'll say is having the right help really helps. And that's what we do. We'd love to help you in the process. So guys, this is my Realtor Reacts to the best home builders in Charlotte. I didn't tell you too much, did I? Notice I didn't tell you who are the best builders, because the best builder from a few years ago, and I mentioned one that I liked real well, that you notice I don't shoot their homes hardly at all anymore. You respect me, I'll respect you. Will we help you buy one of their homes? Sure. But we're going to sleep with one eye open. You should too. And there are builders that could be going bad. They could be breaking bad. Ones that we've liked. So again, it's a relationship business. We know a lot of these people. I know the point I was getting ready to tell you about Taylor Morrison. Rodney Jones, one of my broker partners, and I were out shooting over in a Taylor Morrison neighborhood. We saw a builder out in the yard of a house, and he was picking up trash in the house. I was like, what? Wait, let's go find out more. Come to find out, he's voted the #1 builder in that company last year. And I turned the camera around on him, and very happy to talk to a guy that takes pride in his work. And he's not like some of these builders, aforementioned, hire a kid with give him an iPad and give him 29 houses to watch every day. I mean, it all runs together. It's not like I'm building Mr. Holloway's home or Mr. Jones' home. It's like I take pride in my work. And when you clean up the job site, you've heard me on many videos if you subscribed. If not, hit it. But you know what? If you take pride in your work and I see a job site that looks clean, you know, those things all kind of work into the quality of the house you're getting. It's just not this builder is a national builder. They might be terrible 4 years ago in some other city, but we're here now. We're local. We're boots on the ground. So get some help. Get some help. That guy was so proud that we interviewed him and featured him. He put it on his LinkedIn page. He posted our video on his LinkedIn page. And I like a guy that takes pride in his work. And by the way, there are some great female builders in the greater Charlotte area as well. It's not all guys. So we love it, guys. 704-345-3400. And we'll help you find the best home builder in Charlotte. The best home builder in Charlotte is the one that's best for you. And having somebody with you to help you in the process is best case practices. That's my Realtor reaction. I'll see you in the next video. Holler at your boy.